Yo guys, and to be fair, a few weeks, about a month has passed since the summer transfer window shut, but today we're going to be giving you what I think is the best and worst signing from each Premier League club. Let's get straight into this. So we'll be starting off, I thought, to make the order easier, we'll be starting off bottom to top from the Premier League table as it stands. We're starting off with Leicester. I think Wout Face. He's played 2 games. He's a centre-back. He joined from Stade de Reims, conceded 2 in a 2-1 loss to Bournemouth, kept a clean sheet against Forest. They haven't bought anyone else in, so I mean, it's really difficult to go by that. He's kind of like their best and their worst. He's the only player they brought in. Now, for Nottingham Forest, so I think their worst might be Manuel Dennis. I know this comes from a Watford fan, but he scored one the other night. Apart from that, he's not scored. He's had a really slow start to the season. But to be fair, when it comes to the best, I don't think any of them have performed either. It's a really weird one. They spent so much money and they haven't performed. They bought in the likes of Morgan Gibbs-White for about 40 million or something ridiculous. They brought in Chet Kouyaté, Serge Aurier, Dean Henderson. That's some big names, and maybe they threw all their eggs in one basket in the transfer window. Wolves, again, haven't made that many signings. I think Costa played 2 games, came off the bench in 1 and hasn't scored. So another really awkward one there. Yeah, I don't think they've had a best either. This is the 3 bottom teams that just haven't got off to a good start. Southampton, the worst. Again, haven't gone for a best one. Southampton, I think Ralph Hasenhüttl is very close to being sacked. He's had a really poor start to the season. Southampton, the worst. I've gone with Bella Kotchap. Maybe a bit harsh, but he's meant to be a defender and he's yet to keep a clean sheet. That's your job, as Roy Keane was saying, do you know what I mean? And guys, tell me in the comments below, do you think Ralph Hasenhüttl needs to be sacked, or would you give him more time? He's lost, he 2-9-0 loss in 2 seasons. He lost about 6-0 to Chelsea last season. Is his time up? Are they going to get relegated this season? Villa bought in Bednarek from Southampton, and Dendoncker hasn't been too bad, but just been coming off the bench recently. So Steven Gerrard was under a lot of pressure at the start of the season. Now they've had about a good 3-4 game run, and that's helped them a lot. But I don't really know there. Bednarek and Dendoncker are the 2 signings. Bednarek's obviously only a loan, so a bit bizarre really. With Palace, Czech Decore. He's not actually a striker. I think defensively he's played quite well. I like what Patrick Vieira's doing with the club, slowly but surely building them to be a very good side. And I don't really think they have a bad signing. They've done so well. Leeds, I think the best is Aronson. Looks decent. 1 goal in 8 games. 21-year-old American. Obviously, they got that 3-0 win against Chelsea. They've had a decent start to the season. So therefore, I can't see them having a worse transfer. They've actually done really well. And next up, West Ham. I think best is Scamacca. Been scoring a few goals here and there. He's definitely a good addition to the team. And the worst, I think Paqueta. Cost them 38 million. And he's yet to play a game. 30, what? I'm sorry, what? I mean, he's not injured. So I don't know what is going on. 38 million on someone to be a bench warmer. That's really silly from West Ham. I don't know what they're thinking. Yeah, Everton have actually had a very good start to the season. A lot better than what people thought they were going to do. A lot of people thought, after last season they could get relegated. But they've done well. I think the best is Connor Cody. What an addition that is. And you can tell just how much they've weakened Wolves with that. Obviously, they're in the bottom 3. So, yeah. The fact that it's also from another Premier League side, Connor Cody, what a signing. And again, Everton, I just can't think of a worse one. Brentford, I think the best is Aaron Hickey, a new right back. Played quite decent. Ben Mee is sometimes maybe good. He's sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit, But he's done decent as well. So, yeah, I like to see what happens there. Liverpool Have they had a best signing? They've had a shocker to the season. They're mid-table in the Premier League. I know it's early doors. Núñez has scored 2 goals in 5 games. One of them was off the bench. He cost them 85 million. What an absolute stinker. What is going on at Liverpool this season? I said they were going to finish top. I thought Man City was splashing the cash too silly. And I thought Liverpool was smart with the Núñez signing and all that. Oh, that is an absolute stinker. Fulham, the worst. Dan James hasn't lived up to the expectation. I think the best is João Palhinha. I think Palhinha. 2 goals, 7 games, 8 done bad. But yeah, Dan James really disappointed with him this season. Bournemouth have spent very smart. I mean, coming into the transfer window, Scott Parker did really well, and then they sacked him for no reason. But they're still doing really well, Bournemouth. I think the best was Ryan Fredericks coming out of. He wasn't playing that much for West Ham, but he's a very good right back, very good signing. They noticed that he wasn't playing that much. Got a quick signing in Ryan Fredericks, and yeah, they've been very smart this transfer window. I don't think they've had a worse signing. They're going to stay up. Yeah, I predicted them to go down as well. Oh. Brighton is next. I think their worst signing has been Billy Gilmore. Was really poor for Norwich last season. He has done absolutely nothing for Brighton. Hasn't even made an appearance. I forgot he was there, honestly. Estepinian, ex-Watford left back. He's done decent. Came off the bench most times, but Brighton have barely signed anyone. Fair play to him, obviously. They've lost Graham Potter. Replaced him with a pretty decent manager, to be fair. So, yeah, Brighton are playing it smart. Newcastle, obviously they spent very smart with their new owners. They could have spent big, but they have spent smart. Nick Pope, 9 goals conceded in 9 games, which isn't that bad, especially what their previous record was like. And the fact they've spent so smart, I can't really think you can give them a worse signing. They've done very well. Man United, Anthony, he's come on the scene very quickly, scored a few goals. He's just bursted onto the scene for Man United. And worse, maybe Casemiro, but he ain't really part of their problems. Do you know what I mean? Like, cost them a lot of money, but you can't blame him. Do you know what I mean? But Chelsea, I think the best is Koulibaly. He played really well as well as scoring a goal or 2. Very good signing from Napoli, obviously the Senegal centre-back. A big fan of him. I think the worst is Sterling. 1 goal in 10 games. I thought he was going to be a really good signing for them. I thought Man City, yes, they got a lot of squad depth, but what are they doing selling him? But Raheem Sterling just hasn't made a massive impact at Chelsea. You know, he's underperformed a lot. Spurs getting to the last 3 now. I think the worst is Jed Spence. Can't get a game. I don't think they've had can't get a game. I don't think they've had a best signing. Most of their good players were there already. Ivan Perisic, he's done all right, but yeah, the likes of Kulusevski, Kane, Son, they're the ones that are performing. Obviously, they've been there for a while. Man City, the best is Erling Haaland. What a signing he is. It went for a lot of money, but he's such a good player, and he's so good. He's like a robot. The worst is maybe Sergio Gomez. Played 5 games, no goals, and he got sent off the other night. So he doesn't really... Maybe he's like a young player, I don't know, but he hasn't really made an impact. And last but not least, Arsenal. The best is Gabriel Jesus. What a transfer window they've had, bringing in Gabriel Jesus. Marquinhos, obviously not the PSG one, but still, very good player. Zinchenko, lots of others, and Gabriel Jesus has been so good for Arsenal. You know, the fact that Man City had so much squad depth in Erling Haaland. Pep sold him to his best mate, Mikel Arteta, and he has been firing them in. Do you think Arsenal can get top 4? Leave it in the comments below. How much can Erling Haaland score this season? Let me know in the comments below. Drop a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.